honestly, this film shits all over Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't care what anyone
heavily
says.
borrowed.
Oh, yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah, it's
obviously
definitely a better film.
Oh, it's way
Without a
better
doubt.
than any Friday the 13th. They've looked at it and it's obviously, well, we can do that. A slasher film at a summer camp, sure, why not? But it's just done way better.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Wendy, I'm home.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Go to hell and take your friends with you!
Carbon Day! No!
Get off my plane. Remember Sally when I promised to kill you last?
That's what made you did!
I lied.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Movies to Drink To. My name is Finn.
I'm Mr. Smith.
There he is. He's back. Yes. And on today's episode, we are talking about Sleepaway Camp. Yes. A whodunit slasher from the 80s set in a summer camp.
Yeah.
But it's not that one.
No.
It's the other
It's
one.
not the one you think it is.
No.
Although it does look like it.
Before we go on, just subscribe already. Just do it. Thanks.
You've been told enough.
Sleepaway Camp from 1983, directed by Robert Hiltzik. It stars Felissa Rose, Jonathan Tiersten, Karen Field, Christopher Collett, Mike Kellin, Catherine Cammy, Paul D'Angelo, and Desiree Gould. The plot, Beeth.
Angela Baker, a shy, traumatised young girl, is sent to a summer camp with her cousin. Shortly after her arrival, anyone with sinister or less than honourable intentions towards her gets their comeuppance.
Nice.
Yes.
Our story begins. The
At
opening
Camp
credits.
Crystal Lake.
The opening credits to this are just shots of this camp, which is Camp Arawak,
Yeah.
and the title cards are coming up and all that, and there's this really over the top dramatic music playing.
It starts off slowly and then just gets well over dramatic.
Yeah, considering there's nothing happening on screen, it's just shots of a campsite.
La, 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 la. It's just insane, and it's intercut with like bits of like it shows like an empty basketball field court. And it's just like there's bits of like voices of people playing there,
Like the
stuff
ghosts of the past.
the ghosts of the past, memories,
Yes.
or whatever. It's well confusing.
Well, yeah, this is actually, because then we go to a different, like, it doesn't tell you, but basically we go back in time.
Yes.
About 10 years or so to a different lake.
Uh-huh.
And you've got two little kids, a brother and a sister,
Yeah.
on a little, like, sailboat.
Yeah.
But really, it's like a really tiny one.
Yeah, with their dad.
With their dad in this lake. And also on the lake, you've got a motorboat going around with a water skier on the back.
Yes.
Yes. Worlds will collide.
Also, then like the teens on the boat, like they shout back to their friend, whoever she is, on the water skis, and they're like, "How's it going?" She's like, "Can we stop, please?" Tears coming, fucking gums flapping in the wind. They're like, "She's fine.
I don't want to go home.
Let me drive."
Yeah. So the kids on the little sailboat, they push their dad into the water.
Well,
I mean, he knows. Yeah.
They enact some sort of murder suicide pact, where they're like, "Let's just walk over to Dad and flip the boat."
Yeah. And yeah, the whole thing capsizes. But
Yeah.
the dad turns around and obviously sees them, what they're doing, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just let them have it. All right. You got me."
Yeah.
And
All of their shit's in the boat.
Yeah. The whole thing capsizes. And now the boat's upside down, and Daddy and the two kids are in the water.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the motorboat, the bro driving it
Yeah.
decides to let the girl have a go at driving because why? She convinces him with some bullshit.
This was the 80s, man.
Yeah.
Women weren't supposed to drive cars, let alone boats.
So the woman is driving the motorboat, and you've got the woman and the bro. they're in the boat.
Yeah.
They don't see the kids and the dad in the water.
No, because the minute she takes over from that boat, she's looking behind her
Yes.
the entire time, not
But
looking where they're going.
The
at
water
all.
skier all the way at the back does.
Yeah. But she's like, oh, the children!
What's she saying? They're just looking out the back. What are you saying? The kids! Yeah, sure enough, they crash into the kids and the capsized boat.
Yeah.
The dad is hit by the motorboat. And the water skier, they've obviously come off. And they're just in the water overacting for ages.
Yeah.
Somebody help them! Oh my god! Just
The children!
Yeah, the
Somebody
children!
think about the children!
they're just there for ages, and they're the only person who seems to have seen what's happened.
Yeah, everybody else just
Because
carries on with their day.
The dad's friend, who is on the shore,
Yeah.
he just stares.
Yeah. Well, he does. He goes like John or whatever his name is. No
John.
one cares because John, and that's about it. Yeah, emotionless.
One of the kids is also now apparently drowning. He's sort of
Yeah.
face down, bobbing
Sort of, yeah,
around.
floating about.
And the other kid has been killed, it would appear, because their life jacket floats and it's
Floats up
all
to the top.
smashed up by the propeller of this boat, isn't it?
Yeah,
So they're dead.
Yes.
And as is the dad.
thankfully, because they were awful in the beginning. They're arguing like children actors.
Oh yeah, one of them's got a really strong Boston accent as well.
Yeah.
I just couldn't help but
They're
notice.
clearly not related.
No. Now, again, it doesn't tell you, but years later...
Well, it does come up 8 years later.
Oh, does it?
It does.
It didn't
But
on
it's
mine.
the only time. Yeah.
Oh, if it did, I didn't notice it.
Did you watch the same one I did on the YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does come up. So as
Oh.
it goes to that, you got the outset of the house, and it says like 8 years later.
I did not know.
Because I was expecting you to do 8 years later.
8 years later. 8 years later, apparently, we are at Aunt Martha's house.
Oh my god,
And we get to meet Aunt Martha.
she's an absolute psychopath of a woman,
So...
and she yells
She-
the entire time.
So Aunt Martha, she calls down Richard and Angela.
Yeah,
Richard is only called Richard by Aunt Martha.
yeah.
It's Ricky throughout
Yeah.
the rest of the film.
For everybody
But
else.
they are cousins. Ricky is Aunt Martha's son,
Mm-hmm.
and Angela is the surviving kid
Yep, from the
from
boat
the incident.
horror.
Yeah, from the boat incident. And we we have just overacting at its absolute best from Aunt
It's
Martha.
insane.
This is a Desiree Gould.
Yeah.
And she just yells everything, and she's like, "I packed you a lunch. Wasn't that nice of me?"
From the minute she's yelling up the stairs, where you can understand she has to use a louder voice,
Yeah.
it never drops.
No.
So it's even when they're right in front of her, she's like yelling in their faces.
And
But
she's-
then, yeah, she starts talking to herself. It's like, Richard, Angela, you don't want to miss the bus. That wouldn't do. That wouldn't do at all.
And her eyes are totally glazed over. She's not
Completely.
looking at the children.
She's heavily
terri-
medicated.
Yeah, she's completely nuts.
She's one of my favourite bits of this entire film.
Oh yeah, she's brilliant. I love it. Every second she's on screen. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
She's
It's
just
like,
fucking
here are your
nuts.
here's your medical notes. We won't be telling you where they got them from, will we? Mm-hmm.
Even though I am a doctor.
Yes, I'm a doctor. Did I mention I have a PhD?
It's so weird. Like, there's
Nothing
no-
wrong with being a single mother.
And there's like, was it the whole thing that here's your medical certificates that you need for summer camp, but they're completely fake.
Yeah. It's so
Don't
weird.
tell them how you got them.
Why is she?
Why?
I falsified this information about you. Here's a prescription, by the way. She's absolutely mental. She's like, I think everyone has met someone like this at some point in their life. It's like either an auntie or some friend of your mum's
Yeah.
that like drinks a bottle of wine for lunch every day. Has been going through the menopause for like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's just fucking nuts.
The minute the kids leave, she just throws herself onto the sofa and cries for an hour, like, all dramatic. It's
Even
fucking weird.
Ricky's like had enough of her.
Yeah.
This is her son. He's like, Mom, shut up. He's rolling his eyes. So yeah, she sends them off to summer camp. Mm-hmm. And they arrive at Camp Arawak. And this arrival scene is chaos.
Yeah, I know.
What's
It's like
going
the children
on?
are supposed to look excited, but they look like they're running for their lives from something. They're
You've
like,
just got buses pulling up and just scores of children just running.
like a zombie movie. Like they're all climbing over each other to get off the bus.
And you've got two guys just yelling shit at loads of kids as they're just running past them. Like, how unorganized is this place?
And they're yelling things. The blokes are yelling things like, "You want to slow down, or I'll fucking smash it." You're gonna hurt yourselves, or I will.
Yeah, absolute chaos. And then then we meet the catering team.
Oh my god.
You've got the head chef. His name is Artie.
Yes.
And this chef is a nonce.
He's head paedophile.
He's the head paedophile at Camp Pedo. And he
The
has
dialogue in this is fucking
but he says, so he's there. They're watching the kids arrive, and he says, "Look at all those young chickens. Is it
fresh chicken.
fresh
Look at all that
chickens?
fresh chicken.
And the line is, "Where I come from, we call them boldies."
Yeah. I'm assuming where I come from is prison.
I'm assuming he's saying that because there's a reason he doesn't live where he comes from ananymore. You were the only one that called
out of
them boldies, weren't you? And apparently there's no such thing as too young.
Yeah, he says, one of the other chefs goes like, "They're too young to know what you have in mind." And he goes, "There's no such thing as too young." It's like, you're just too old.
Oh, this is Ben he's talking to, yeah.
Yeah. I said, like, at this point, I'm like, I hope to fuck you die first. Like, I know you're establishing him as a bad man, but this is, honestly, I was watching the whole thing like...
It's not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool. You can't say
awful.
that. Boldies, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Anyway, so they've arrived. And then Ricky, he meets his mate Paul.
yeah.
Paul is excited about a girl called Judy because Judy has tits.
Yes, she does.
She-
Apparently now. Not like last summer.
No. Yeah, Ricky and Judy, they had a thing last year, but she's now got tits, so she's too good for little old Ricky.
Oh, yeah, she blanks him from
Yes.
the offset. She's talking to some of the older boys
Yeah.
and stuff, and Ricky's like, "Hey, Judy, how about we hit?" And she's like, no.
No, I have boobs now?
Yeah.
I'm talking to these guys.
Yeah.
These
I'm
guys
talking
have
to the 25-year-old.
Yeah. Not you
14.
17-year-old.
Yeah,
Yes.
how old are the kids supposed to be in this? What is summer campaign?
I think they're pretty much... So,
Like 15, 16.
Angela, the actress who played her, was 13.
Right.
Ricky was played by a 17-year-old.
Because I think, if I've got it right, at summer camp there are like levels of like ages.
Yeah, there are in this, because there's like 12-year-olds in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
as well, aren't there? Yes, and yeah, we meet Judy, who is, quite frankly, cinema's greatest bitch. I love her.
Yeah.
She is just that kind of bubblegum chewing, big hair.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Yeah.
Just horrible to fucking everybody. She's a
her
complete
annoyed
sociopath.
face. Yeah, absolutely. Her annoyed face fucking kills me. Yeah. It's like the bottom lip extends like way past her face.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's mental.
We also meet Meg and Susie. Meg and Susie are a couple of the counsellors.
Yes.
They're like a year older than the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
So they're counsellors.
They're 16 at best.
Yes. And then in the cabin, oh yeah, Ricky shows Angela to her cabin.
Yeah.
And then in the cabin, Judy instantly doesn't like Angela because she's a bitch. But to be fair, Angela is just staring at her.
Angela is being weird as fuck.
Yes.
She's not speaking to anyone and she just bogs everybody out like with the biggest eyes.
Yes, doesn't blink.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, she's not doing herself any favours,
No.
really. Sort it out, Angela. Stop being weird.
And then now we have 3 days later
Yeah.
at lunch in the canteen where we meet Ronnie.
Oh, muscle guy.
What's going on with this dude? Ronnie looks like he always looks like he's just come from the gym.
Yeah.
He's got a pump on constantly.
He's one of those guys that walks slightly like, you can put your arms down, but he won't. But,
Physically can't.
but also he's like this gentle giant sort of bloke. Like he's
Yeah.
this massive nice guy. But like I didn't even know his name was Ronnie till you just said it. I just called him Muscles for the entire
He's got always wears really tight t-shirt.
and tiny shorts.
Budgie smugglers.
But he's like a wannabe like 70s Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. Yeah, he's this kind of like East Coast Italian,
Affable,
muscle
yeah,
bound. Yeah, he's got the hair and everything. Yeah, this is Ronnie. And he's like in charge. He's like the head counselor. He's in
Yes,
charge of all
he's
the
in
others.
charge of all the others.
Yes. So Ronnie, Angela hasn't been eating apparently
For 3 days.
for 3 days.
Yeah.
So Ronnie takes her to the kitchen to see if they can find something that she would like to eat.
Yes.
And then Ronnie introduces her
To head pedo.
To head pedo. Artie the chef, head paedophile at Camp Pedo. And the pedo chef, he takes her into the walk-in and immediately starts getting his cock out.
Yeah. He's like, we'll find something. I'm sure I can find something you like in the walk-in.
Here's my dick.
Yeah. He means his penis.
Luckily, Ricky interrupts him, and then he's like, "What are you doing?" And then the chef gets angry and he slams Ricky against the shelf, and then he chases them out and they run out. At this point, we meet Mel, who owns the camp.
Head camp cigar man.
Yes, who walks around chomping a cigar
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And he sees this as they're running out, and he's like, "Well, what's that all about?" And Head Pedo's like, "Oh, I guess I scared them."
He's like, yeah, I guess you scared them. And that's it.
How dumb is this guy? Like, yeah, I guess you scared them. He was like, "How did you scare them?" "Well, I got my cock out."
Yeah, he seems quite forthcoming. Yeah, I guess I scared him with my penis.
Yeah. You've seen my record, right?
Yeah.
That's how I got this job.
You know where I've come straight from prison to here. I shouldn't be here.
No, Mel doesn't give a shit.
No.
He's just like, "Oh, you scared them with your penis?" Nah. Well,
Well, try not to.
pedos will be pedos.
I suppose putting you in this environment was a massive mistake.
Can't do much about it now. She smokes on his cigar. Money's tight, you see.
Yeah, and I'm making a ton of money out of this summer camp.
Yeah.
Let's not rock the boat.
Later on, Pedo Chef is checking on the world's largest pan of boiling water.
It's literally big enough to put a small child.
It's
in
about
there.
4 foot high.
Yeah, well, not even a small child, a child.
And we've got Ben in there as well, who he talks to for a bit, and then Ben leaves, and then we get the POV killer. It's all shot in first person, kind of like another film set at a summer camp. And so we don't know who the killer is.
No.
And they sneak up on him and they push him.
Yeah, you do see like child hands.
Yes.
Child-sized hands, but yeah, that's about it.
They push him and he's kind of holding onto the shelf over the boiling water. And he's like, "It's you! Oh, you fucking piece of shit! I'm fucking kill you! Get me down from here! Don't you know? I'll fuck you!"
Yeah.
And we see the hands pull the stool out, and Pedo Chef falls, and the massive pan of boiling water lands on him, and he is burnt to fuck.
Now I have to say, the effects on this are great.
Yes.
Yeah.
That looks
really
painful.
good. Yeah, it does look painful as fuck. I mean, first of all, you just see his hands, like, with all like bits of skin hanging off. But then when it pans around to his face and it's all bubbling, like blistering and stuff, it looks good for 1983.
Yes, it really
It
does.
really does.
And then Ben arrives in his underwear to try and help. I don't know why he's just in his underwear. What were you doing, Ben?
It's just seeing to the children.
That's what I'm supposed to do, isn't it? This is Camp Pedo, isn't it? I was just doing what Head Pedo told me. Anyway, afterwards, he's carted off by the paramedics.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah, sort of barely, but apparently he's blind now, which makes no difference because he already saw the kid that did this to him.
Yeah.
But they're like, but they do make a point of going, "But what about his eyes?" And he goes, "Oh no, they're fucked."
Yeah, it's like,
And he's
well,
like, "Oh, well, you won't see anything from the past then."
his memory's been wiped. It's not how blindness works. But also, there's a doctor there that proceeds to describe to Ronnie and Mel just how much pain he's in for ages. Like, every nerve in his body must feel like it's on fire. Can't even begin to imagine the pain that man's in right now. I don't even have a sedative strong enough for that man. He's in so much pain. You're like, that's our colleague.
Yeah. Also,
We
he's
don't
a
need to
massive paedophile, so who cares?
But they don't know that.
This is when Mel starts to show signs of he's just going to cover stuff up because he doesn't want to lose his livelihood.
Yeah, he's like, well, this is just an accident, right,
Yeah,
Doc?
it's
There's
just an
no need to alarm the children.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, the biggest threat to them is gone now.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, he's all like, well, we'll just tell them it's an accident. And the doctor, they start to look at him a bit weird because he's like, fucking, or is it? No, that's later on with the policeman.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's all like, well, anyway, it's an accident.
So, over in the cabin, the boys, they're playing a game, playing hide the face in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of these weird prank games where they have Mozart is the character's name.
yeah.
He's like the nerd.
He's got glasses on, so you have to bully him.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's pinned down by his head, and the whole, I can't remember what the game's called, but you have to.
Wait,
They convince you you've got to do a sit up.
Yeah, Ricky's like giving some
Big
life
speech.
motivational speech,
Yeah.
and stuff like mind over matter,
That's
and
it.
everything. I don't know if you won't be able to do this sit up, no matter how hard you try, because I've suggested to you. And then they go like, ready, and when I take the towel off, you sit up, and you won't be able to. And then he sits up and his mate's got his bum out.
He just
fucking
face
buries
plants
his
it.
nose into his anus.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah. I don't know about you. I never played this
I
fucking
have
game.
not once, no. But then I never went to summer camp, so
No.
it's not a UK thing. It's more of an American thing.
Yeah, I guess we don't really have the weather or as many paedophiles apparently.
To be honest, the amount of like traumatic stories I've heard about people going to summer camp, glad we don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm traumatized enough by my own family.
And then some guy. This is Gino. Gino shows up wearing a third of a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, but this is. I decided he was AC Slater from Saved by the Bell.
He's basically so, isn't he? Yeah. He arrives to gather them all up for a baseball game.
Yeah,
And you've got Ricky's team against Bill's team.
yeah. Bill's team are like 30,
Yeah. And Ricky's team are like
12.
Yeah. Ricky and Bill, they don't get on. There is some brilliant dialogue where he says, "Eat shit and die, Ricky." And he replies, "Eat shit and live, Bill."
Oh yeah, that's my favourite.
That's
I
fucking
wrote
brilliant.
that down. Yeah, it's brilliant. Best line in the fucking film.
And then they have a game of baseball. Mozart, there's a bit of Mozart is playing a video game on the field.
Yeah, on a Casio calculator or something.
Yeah, which apparently, I guess, was a thing.
Yeah.
But he still catches the ball.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Because it's the slowest ball ever to come. And he's like, oh no. And then runs a little bit and then still catches it.
Yeah, it's just Mozart. He's a genius.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's why they call him Mozart.
Quite possibly. I
He
mean,
can
there
win a
must be
baseball
story
game
behind
whilst playing a video game
it.
as well. Yeah.
Genius. Still, let's bully him anyway.
No. Anyway, Ricky's team wins.
After 4 days. It's the longest fucking game. It goes like, this takes up basically 10 minutes of the film. It goes on forever. By the time it ended, I actually understood baseball.
Yeah, there's gambling involved in video games, right?
Yeah, apparently
Yes.
so, yeah. Stuff.
That
One
night,
team has to be much older.
yes, that night at the disco,
Mm-hmm.
which is a shed covered in graffiti,
Yes.
it looks like people do drugs in there. It's
Yeah.
proper like,
They probably do. The counsellors, Mel,
yeah,
and the kitchen staff.
yes. And Bill is challenged by his friends to ask Angela to go skinny dipping. Angela doesn't speak at all at this point, by the
No,
way.
she's not said a fucking word
No,
yet.
not said a word. So he's trying to chat her up for a laugh.
Yeah.
She's not replying.
She just stares.
yeah.
And does that whole staring thing at them.
And then Mel, the camp owner, he arrives and he heads over to Meg with a pervy look on his face.
Who's this one? Sorry. Mel.
Yes,
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha.
cigar guy.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, he's got a little pervy wink, little pervy glint in his eye, and he heads over to Meg. Just hangs out. Hey, Meg, how's it going? He's like 60, by the way.
I know. He
She's
gives her a
probably
pat on the arse as well at one point earlier.
Yeah.
In the cafeteria.
she's like what, 19, 18?
Probably. Like,
Yeah.
Could be 17.
And then, fuck me, Ricky arrives. Dang, right. Ricky is about 5'3". He struts into this disco like he's 6'4". He's
Where is
got his fucking Paul,
Yeah.
his hype man,
Yeah.
flanking him, and he's wearing a cowboy hat.
It's the biggest Stetson I've ever seen. It's like one of those comedy foam ones. That you
I
can
think
get.
he's just quite small.
Yeah.
It's a regular size hat.
He's got like 18 socks in the top of it, so it doesn't.
doesn't
Otherwise, it'd be down here. I just walked in blind. Look,
Like
it's cut 2 eye holes out on the top of it. It looks like a McDonald's villain.
Like it doesn't match the rest of his ensemble at all, or even like fit in with anything in this film. And yet it kind of suits him. He looks kind of amazing in it.
Coolest kid in camp.
Yeah. And so he arrives, and Bill, who doesn't like him, apparently doesn't like his hat much either. They start fighting. They have this huge fight breaks out.
Yeah.
And the counsellors just watch, as
Yeah.
does Angela.
Pretty much everyone just watches for a minute, and then I think it's AC Slater finally jumps in and drags Ricky out. Yeah,
Even though Ricky's obviously the good guy,
well,
because he's the one in the hat.
yeah, the white hat as well. It's
No, it's
black
brown,
hat.
isn't it?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think it's brown.
I mean, but Western law is white hat good, black hat bad.
Oh, he's brown, so he's a bit of both.
No, it's a bit of both.
He's an anti-hero.
It's like a grey Jedi.
He's a rebel.
Yeah.
He does what it is like the saloon doors as he walks in. It's fucking great. So Ricky is ejected from the venue without his hat. That hat's never seen again. Don't know what happened.
Which is a waste.
Yeah, right.
It should have been a part of that character's whole thing.
Yeah. And then Paul, he starts chatting up Angela. Judy sees this, and she doesn't like this one bit because she's a bitch.
Yeah,
There's no reason.
there's no other reason for it at all. She could just let them get on with it because she's not. There's no reason why she'd be interested in Paul.
Yeah.
And it's just literally her hatred of Angela for no reason.
Well, I think it's simply because a boy is chatting to a girl that isn't her.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
She's like, all boys should fancy me, basically.
Greedy.
That's her thing. But Angela seems
hung
a
around
little
in the kitchen more, she'd be like sorted.
Fuck's sake. You want some attention, do you? Go see this middle-aged man over there.
Yeah, just hang about in the walk-in.
But Angela seems a little sweet on Paul, and she actually speaks.
She does for the first time.
Yeah, she says, "Good night."
Yeah.
Good night.
And
It was
he's-
nice to meet you.
And Paul's like, "Good night."
Hot dog. looks like I picked a winner there, boys. Hoo-wee. Good night, Angela.
He's like something out of Miracle on 34th Street all of a sudden. Gee whiz!
I picked the cutest girl in the... No, you didn't. She is a nut
She's
job.
clearly fucking mental, mate, but good luck to you.
And then after the disco, it's still in the evening that night, over at the lake, the boys, they're a bit pissed off with the girls because the girls don't want to go skinny dipping with them.
Yeah.
So the boys go skinny dipping together.
Yes,
on
they
their
do.
own. They all get naked and have a good old swim. Gay!
And the girls are literally like, and we're going to go.
Yeah, we're gonna go to bed and
Ta-da.
yeah, they're just like running around naked.
Yeah.
Like, you guys enjoy yourselves. It seems like you're having enough fun without us women.
Where are all your hands?
Yeah. Whose cowboy hat is this? Except we have, is it Kenny and Leslie?
Kenny, yeah, mullet. Kenny with the mullet.
And-
yeah, this is it's a weird setup as well because Kenny's one of these people who keeps having to reassure girls that he's a good. You won't have no trouble from me.
Yeah.
Like I sit on my hands the whole time. Honestly, like all those rumors are untrue.
I was never convicted.
Yeah.
There was no evidence. They couldn't prove anything.
Yep. Nothing at all. I'm a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So Kenny, the good guy, and Leslie, they go for a little rowboat ride at night.
Yeah.
And Kenny, he teases her about water snakes.
Yeah. What is his fucking plan here?
Be a dick.
Yeah, I know. This is like
This is how you woo women.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith.
Gonna take her on a boat ride.
You tease them and make them feel scared, and then you capsize a boat, endangering
Deliberately
them.
capsize
Yep.
the boat. Yeah.
And then they swim away.
Yeah. Saying they fucking hate you. And you're
Yeah.
like, score. And you're so pleased with yourself as well that you get under the boat for some reason, the capsized boat.
Yes.
Don't spin it over, just get underneath it. And then go, like, while you're under there, start yelling weird shit.
Yeah,
Like,
just
Leslie!
Yeah, he gets under the boat and just starts talking to himself.
Yeah.
Until he's killed.
And then, yeah, does a bit of scatting. Look, not scat. That's a whole different thing. But he does like, and then his head pops up, and he's like, "What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah, and he's killed
And they,
off
whoever
camera.
this person is, quite easily drowns him.
Yes.
There's no like, they're just like, plop. And he doesn't fight.
No.
He just drowns.
No, maybe his plan with Leslie was to scare her off and then be like, "Hey, guys, I got rid of the one last girl."
Now none of them will talk to him.
Yeah, now it's just us boys.
Yeah.
Nice ass, by the way, Bill.
More skinny dipping for us. But yeah, he's easily killed. Like
Yeah.
barely like an inconvenience.
The next morning, one of the counsellors is really pissed off about having to clean up the whole mess that's
Well,
been left
he-
by the lake. He's fuming. And he finds Kenny's very dead body. And
Yeah.
a water snake slithers out of his mouth.
The irony.
It did make me laugh. It's like, dickhead. Now who's scared of water snakes? Well, not him. He's dead.
And again, it looks pretty good.
It does look good.
Now, I mean, if that is a model or a what do you call it?
Cast.
Cast of him, it looks really fucking good. It's either that or that's actually him with a snake coming out of his mouth.
Doesn't it go up his nose?
Does it come out of his nose? I thought
They
it came
come,
out of his mouth.
I thought it came out of his mouth, went up his nose.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. It's whatever.
But it looks good.
It does look really good.
Yeah.
And so the paramedics are back again. Weren't we here yesterday?
Yeah.
What's going on in this place? We took away that Nancy one, and now just
I should probably get health and hygiene down here. Just just to have a look. Mel's like, no, this is where Mel gets all fucking funny about fucking.
oh yeah, Mel with the Mel is with the policeman. The policeman, by the way, we should point out, has a real moustache. Now, what you might be thinking, why are you... He has a moustache, and it's a real one. Just remember that. He has a real moustache.
Yes.
Right. So he's talking to the policeman, and Mel says something like, how do you think this could have happened? And the policeman's like, well, he says, quote, well, I'm no expert. You're a police officer. You're a cop.
Yeah.
Isn't it literally your job to investigate this stuff? Like, well, I'm no expert. Oh,
Generally do like crossing guard at the schools. Like, I'm only here because everybody else seems to be off.
He's also the only cop in this whole town, apparently.
Yeah, I know, which made me laugh later on. Like, anyway, before we get there. But yeah, he seems to be the only one that ever turns up.
Yes.
Like, people are dying. Like, Trevor,
That was...
can you go out to the death? We're all, busy.
Yeah. We got noncy things to do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an outbreak of child abuse in this town.
Because it's the police.
Yeah.
When they showed up for the dead chef, they're like, oh, not Artie, you know him? Well, I've met him.
Not personally, only
I've met him
online.
in some private clubs.
Yeah.
Conservative private clubs where it's okay to get drunk and grope people. Topical. Oh yeah, but there's a back and forth between the policeman and Mel is basically saying, trying to convince the policeman that this was all just an accident,
Yeah.
and the policeman's like, okay,
Yeah.
because he's no expert.
So yeah, we don't want to worry the kids, all of whom are standing behind.
Yeah, they're watching the body,
Watching
the body bag,
being
taken
being
away.
lobbed unceremoniously onto the back of an ambulance.
Another one, eh? Yeah, probably be back again tomorrow, won't we? Knowing this place, Jesus.
Should we just hang around here? Like, see, it's a long way to go back and come back.
Oh yeah, because Mel is worried the word will get out and it'll be bad for business because that's all he cares about. So he can buy cigars.
He goes a bit Tiger King, like with every time somebody dies, and he's like, "I'll never financially recover from this."
Then later on, the girls are playing volleyball. Judy has a T-shirt that says Judy on it.
She does, just in case we're not sure who Judy is.
She's that like self-obsessed and not yeah. Hello.
Judy.
They know who I am. It's Judy. Oh, fuck you up. Go, Judy. Probably my favourite character. And Angela now talks.
She does, now that Paul's brought it out of her.
Yeah.
She's
He's
very
charmed.
verbal.
You've charmed me.
Yeah.
She now talks.
Yeah.
And Paul arrives to ask her, Angela, would you like to go to the movies with me? And Angela's like, isn't it compulsory to go anyway?
Yeah.
It's like, yes,
So,
it is.
Would you like to go to the mandatory cinema tonight?
It's a date. I know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a choice, do I? We have to go. We literally don't have a choice. We're being forced. So they've got a date. La.
Brilliant.
And then Paul fucks off. Meg arrives to give Angela some shit,
Yeah.
but Susie comes and sticks up for her.
I'm not sure what Meg's deal is either, like what her motivation is for being a complete prick to Angela.
She's just a piece of shit.
She seems
That's
to be
it.
in awe of Judy, who is like half her age.
Half her height as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Judy is a wee woman,
Yeah.
but probably very vicious.
Yeah, I would imagine it's like she'd claw your eyes out in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but Susie comes along and sticks up for her. At this point, we very much have a pro and anti-Angela teams set up.
Yeah.
Some people just hate her, some people defend her.
Yes.
And it's almost like the camp is split.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's trouble, she is, Angela.
Oh, yeah, she is.
And troubled.
That night, after the compulsory movie experience...
I was randomly miffed that I did not see what film they watched.
Yeah. Kind of want
It
to...
just ended. I was like, oh.
Friday the 13th?
Yeah, I was like...
Yeah, we never find out what film they got to see. But after whatever film that was, Paul walks Angela back to her bunk.
Yeah.
Also, Ricky is still trying to get it on with Judy, but fails.
Yeah.
Because
So remember all the good times we had last year?
so, I have tits now, go away.
Yeah. It's like all
Ew.
all the fingering.
Yeah. The heavy pashing. Do you remember the pashing? Who's the calls it pashing? Go away. She flicks her massive hair.
Yeah.
Her hair is
Twice
fantastic.
her size.
Yeah, it's
Like
literally.
Medusa.
Her hair is like the mass of her. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Anyway, Paul, having walked her back to her bit of cabin in the woods,
Yeah.
he kisses Angela. Gives her a
It's
little
like-
kiss, and then immediately says, Hope you don't mind I did that.
Yeah, straight away. Like it's like he's barely finished the kiss. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I hope you don't mind I did that. It's like, well, I didn't really give him much of a choice.
No.
Like,
So she's like, okay, well, good. She doesn't seem into it.
no, not at all.
She
Like,
says
she's
it-
quite clearly uncomfortable.
Yeah, says good night. He's like, hey, could I have another one?
Yeah.
And they have another weird, horribly awkward kiss.
Yeah. Can I have another one, seeing as the other one went so well?
He's literally like writing a little tally on his hand. Number 2. I've kissed twice in my life. Hello, player. Angela goes to bed. And then Judy shows up out of nowhere and makes some sex faces at Paul.
Yeah. Judy, from the rest of this film, Judy has this weird habit of suddenly appearing just from off screen. Like she's constantly hovering.
Yeah.
Like, and people don't seem to notice her. Like, I mean, she's quite clearly there. But like every time she just pops up into scene.
And just be like, oh.
Yeah.
You like her? Why don't you like me?
Yeah.
Babes, hello.
So yeah, Paul runs back into his cabin, eager to tell of his exploits, but they're busy.
They are oh yeah. Back in the cabin, the boys are playing more pranks on Mozart.
Yeah.
They're doing the whole shaving foam
Yeah.
in the hat in the face.
Tickling
kind
his
of-
nose.
Yeah,
and
they're
yeah.
they're doing that and they pull it off. Mozart, pissed off, pulls a fucking knife out.
Like a Bowie knife.
Yeah. Starts chasing Ricky around with
Yeah.
a fucking knife, trying to stab him up.
He's had enough. Like,
Yeah.
he's
He
reached
snapped.
his breaking point. Yeah.
Falling down, Michael Douglas. He's gone.
Yeah. I mean, that's the kid killing everyone.
Yeah. But then Gino arrives and he confiscates the knife.
Yeah.
But they're like, even Ricky and everyone are like, we were just kidding.
Yeah.
You've got
he
a
was just
massive
messing
knife.
around, mate. So I was like, fucking wasn't.
Yeah, well, fucking gutted you.
Take
little
your face
shit.
off, you
Yeah.
prick.
I'll wear your face.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, apparently they were just kidding. But he's confiscated the knife
Yeah.
and he's put it on the high shelf.
Yeah.
So they,
But they can't get to
yeah,
it.
he literally just puts it under some clothes on a shelf.
Yeah.
Like, and then he
Right in
walks
front
off.
of everybody
Yeah,
as well,
they
yeah.
all see where he's
Yeah.
placed it, and he walks off. Like, didn't think that through, really, did you,
And
Gino?
they're like, oh, can't get that back till the end of camp now. It's all the way up there underneath that heavy jumper.
The next day, by the lake, Judy gives Paul and Angela some shit.
Yeah, Paul
Because-
comes up behind her and
yeah.
does the whole Guess Who thing, and she's like, Burt Reynolds?
It's like, close.
It's like, yeah.
Fucking not, mate. I don't know what mirror you're looking in. You little weed. Judy's giving him some shit. Paul fucks off. Then Meg arrives to give Angela some shit about not swimming.
Yeah.
And obviously Angela doesn't speak to Meg because Meg's not smooth
cunt.
like Paul.
Yeah.
And she doesn't speak, doesn't respond to her, and Meg gets more and more annoyed and starts like violently shaking Angela
Yeah,
and
Angela
screaming
wins
at
this
her.
whole confrontation.
Oh, yeah.
Angela just stares at her until she just loses her shit
Yeah.
and assaults a child.
Yeah, Meg literally snaps and
Yeah.
goes mental, and Angela's just sat there doing nothing. And then Ronnie shows up,
Yeah.
and
to
now
save the day.
Meg is in trouble. Oh, you're fired? Well, she's not fired. Ronnie's like, you see me in my shack later.
Yeah.
Your
for-
shack.
Yeah. See me at shack later for discipline.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Shack, the groundskeeper Willie Shack. This is the head counsellor. What are the benefits of being head counsellor? You get a shack.
Yeah, shack.
Great.
It's like an old disused, it's like the shed in Evil Dead at the back of the house.
So yeah, Meg is in trouble. Later in the cabin, this is the girls' cabin, Judy is mad at Angela for getting Meg in trouble.
She's so fucking mad that her bottom lip is like way out here. It's extended way past her face.
And Judy accuses Angela of being queer and also not reaching puberty. And
Yeah.
the
She
insult,
won't shower with them.
the insult. Oh yeah, she won't shower with them.
Yeah.
The line she drops is a real carpenter's dream, flat as a board and needs a screw.
Yeah.
Oosh! Dang! Dang! Judy,
Yeah, you
bitch!
can't knock the writing in this film. The dialogue's amazing.
Oh, it's ice in the fucking veins. That is.
It's brilliant. There's also, just before all this starts, fucking Judy launches her pillow at her, then storms over and goes, "Give that back!" You just threw it at her.
It's not the point.
Yeah.
It's my pillow, bitch.
But yeah, the carpenter's dream line is golden. That and fucking eat shit and live are brilliant.
Susie, one of the Team Angela counselors, she's had enough of Judy. Yeah. Judy's like, fuck off! And Susie slaps her. Yeah. Which you don't do,
No.
frankly.
I mean, there's Meg assaulting Angela and Susie assaulting Judy. It's all falling apart.
This whole camp, you've got counsellors assaulting children. You've got paedophiles working in catering.
Yeah.
You've got an old man chomping on cigars who doesn't actually give a shit about any of the kids. He's just making money.
They're all like dollar signs to him, weirdly. I'm not sure it makes that much money, but
Yeah, this isn't like $1 million
Mel
industry.
only has to work in the summer, and for the rest of the year, he's like living the high life on his yacht somewhere that he's bought. Does he own a chain of summer camps? Just this one.
But Susie slaps Judy and then walks off crying because she's probably going to go to jail for assaulting a child, you'd think. Well, it was the 80s. Angela, she goes to see Ricky, but on the way there, she gets hit by a water balloon. Oh, the humanity. And they proper make... It's just a water balloon.
Yeah, it's literally...
It's a water balloon, that's it. But no, they make this whole song and dance about it. Angela's on the floor. Ricky goes berserk.
Mate, yeah, loses it.
Yeah, he's like, you like screaming obscenities at these people that have thrown this water balloon at her.
Gonna bite their faces off.
Yeah, and then even Mel, who's done pretty much nothing at this point, intervenes.
Yeah.
And he has a go at the guys like, oh, those are dangerous. You could have taken her eye out. It's a fucking water balloon.
These glass water balloons you're using, full of nails.
And he checks on Angela. Are you okay? You might want to get changed. You don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
Because, I don't want another one dying.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. Over at the cabin, the dude who threw the boys' cabin, the dude who threw the water balloon, he's going to take a, quote, wicked dump on the toilet. So he's taking a wicked dump.
Yes.
And he sat there, and the screen window behind, a hand comes up and cuts it open using Mozart's knife.
Yes.
From earlier.
And we've already seen Mozart use it, so, we know he's mental.
Yeah, the bully there. And then they've got a beehive on a stick, which they put in there.
Yeah.
And they dump a beehive on him with no bees.
The invisible bees. They're just really loud.
Yeah,
like,
but there's no bees to be seen.
Unless they're just still in the thing. Like, we're not coming out. And he's just panicking for no reason.
We're not coming out to someone to sting.
Also, this would be so easy to escape from. The killer's a fucking broom handle through the things.
Yeah.
But he could climb over the door. Could easily climb over the door. Or he could jump out that fucking window bit.
But he's being stung so much. These are obviously Africanized killer bees.
Yeah.
Because he is killed. He is stung to death.
He is stung to death, yeah.
Yes. And they make like a hive of his head.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, yeah, they're all on his face and stuff. I mean, bees generally don't want to sting you.
No.
If, they die.
Yes.
Like, that's... if there had been a wasp's nest or a hornet's nest...
Maybe they were hornets?
No, they're definitely bees.
I don't fucking know.
Like,
I'm no biologist.
biologist.
Anyway, yeah, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Mel now, he's pissed off because he's losing business. But Mel, he knows there's a killer. And he thinks it's a he.
Yes,
He
decided.
says, I know who it is. I'll get him. I saw him.
Saw the hate in his eyes.
Yeah.
And Mel thinks it's all about him as well.
Yeah.
He's trying to ruin me.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking-
He thinks he knows who it is.
Yeah.
It's one of the boys.
Yeah.
And he's convinced that this boy is doing it just to ruin his business.
Yeah. Also, there's only 25 kids left, apparently.
Yeah.
So I don't know if some have died off screen that we're just not told about. I mean, 25 kids. I mean, there's only been, 3 deaths? One of which being the catering staff.
Yeah, only 2 kids have died.
2 kids have died. So there was only 27 kids at this camp in the first place. Mel's not making any money.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, at the beginning, we did see about 60 run off those buses.
There's hundreds of kids in this place at the beginning, and now there's 25 left.
So he's killed like 75 people.
We're only acknowledging the ones we care about.
Later that night, Paul, there's Angela, and you've got the POV shot, and you think it's the killer, but it's Paul. He sneaks up on her. And
Is this where she looks like she's stuck behind a cabin? Because she's just stood there, just looking left to right for fucking ages. Like,
and then Paul
what are you
sings,
looking for?
Paul,
Yeah, well,
I guess.
Paul just sneaks out
Oh,
the
yeah,
bushes.
she says, I thought you were the killer.
Yeah.
So maybe she was looking for the killer. But so the kids know as well there's a killer on the loose.
Oh, yeah, it's all gone to shit now.
But they don't like, maybe Maybe call my parents.
Yeah, maybe let us go home.
Yeah, maybe. No, they stay there.
No.
Oh, I thought you were the killer. Jesus Christ.
No refunds, says Mel.
So they head off to the lake for some pashing.
Yeah, to do some smooching.
Yes, and they're running around, and it's all innocent. It's all very playful until Paul decides he wants some titties.
Yes.
And he starts trying to undo Angela's top.
Yeah.
Cue flashback. And what the fuck is going on here?
Well, we find out that Angela's dad was in a relationship with a man.
The man from earlier.
The man from earlier with no emotion.
Yes. When he was
when
the
he
man who
died.
was
John.
stood on the shore. John. Yes, it's a flashback. Angela, as a child, and her brother, they're watching. They're just stood
They're
in the
watching
door.
their dad bang a fella.
They're watching, but
bang
they're
his
just stood
boyfriend.
in the doorway. Like
Giggling.
they're obviously. You telling me that the dad and his boyfriend can't see the
Yeah, I
kids
know.
giggling in the doorway as they're like hee hee hee, and you've got dad in bed with this guy. Now these two guys, they're clearly not gay in real life, and they're clearly not very good actors. It is awkward looking as shit as they're just kind of lying there together, just
Having a chat.
stroking each other's hair, like
Yeah.
trying not to make eye contact. Like this is, whew, this is weird, bro.
We're going to keep it going for 25 minutes, though. So,
So yeah, it's established that
yeah, but then the weird... I don't know what's going on with... Then it goes to
and-
Angela and her brother
Sat on the bed.
And
Yes.
her brother's like just starts pointing
At her
towards her. Her
chest.
finger gets closer and closer. Like, what's happening there?
I have no idea.
So weird.
It is weird. So yeah, Angela's dad, it turns out, was gay, but that means nothing to the plot.
No, it doesn't make any fucking difference whatsoever.
And also, her brother was pointing at her non-existent boobs because
Yeah.
she was like 6.
yeah.
It
Yeah, that whole flashback means fuck all.
it's so weird.
Like, honestly, the fact that, her dad was gay, but it doesn't change anything.
No.
It doesn't benefit the plot in any way whatsoever. It's so fucking odd.
But yeah, Angela runs off. The next day or whatever, everyone is playing Capture the Flag. And Paul is annoyed that Angela is frigid.
Yes.
And Judy just shows up out of nowhere again to make some more sex faces at Paul.
Well, Paul massively gaslights Angela. Like, he's like, I'm sorry that you were frigid. And that you didn't want me to touch your boobs,
Yeah.
because,
You've got an issue.
you're emotionally devoid and don't want sex at 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
And
With me.
the
The Paulmeister.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I'm as smooth as Burt Reynolds.
have you not seen Judy trying to get in my pants all
Yeah.
fucking day?
And she's got boobs, which
Yeah.
you've not. Like, I could have them.
And then he gaslights her to the point where Angela apologises to him. She's like, I'm sorry I didn't want to be sexually assaulted on the beach. It's entirely my fault, you're right.
Yeah.
And he tries to put his arm around her and stuff. And she's like, going, and fucks off again.
Yeah.
And then Judy's like, pa-ding, like, just from
Hey,
off
remember
screen.
me?
Yeah. Remember this?
Yeah, it's how you doing? Forget that girl. She's frigid. Johnny got a tongue. Anyway, then Ricky, he has a plan. Ricky has a plan to win Capture the Flag, but
Yes.
he needs Angela's help. And so Ricky and Angela... So he needs Angela's help.
Yes.
They've got this plan. They're going to go circumvent everybody through the woods, basically, and capture the flag.
It's
And
military. It's sound. Strategically sound.
Oh, yeah, it's from the Art of War.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then Ricky and Angela, they catch Judy and Paul smooching.
Yes.
In the woods. Knew it.
That dog, Paul.
He's just a horny little 12-year-old.
I mean, he can't help it. He's a good-looking young man.
It's Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's uncanny, isn't it?
I mean, in all fairness, Paul and Judy should end up together.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Angela's pissed off and runs away and blah, blah, blah. Later on, we never find out if Ricky captured the flag, though. That annoyed me.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah. So, did it work?
Yeah.
Did his plan... Oh, I
Did you just abandon it? I mean, you can't just not finish the game, Ricky.
Later, the next day, I think, at the lake,
Yeah, it's
Paul...
not clear whether
No.
this is the next day.
Paul tries to apologise.
Well, kind of gaslighting again.
Yeah, kind of. I didn't really want to smooch her, but you wouldn't smooch me, and she
Yeah.
did, and she's got boobs, and you know how it is.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
She wouldn't leave me alone. Much like I am with you.
But Judy shows up to stir up some more shit because it's
again.
Judy.
Ting.
just wheel her into scene. Hello. What's going on? Oh, it's these two again. Gross.
There should be a boing sound effect every time she appears on the screen. Boing. What are you doing?
She's like, you remember that? Was it Adam ruins everything? It's Judy ruins everything. Just shows up. And Paul fucks off again. He does this.
Yeah.
He shows up, talks to Angela until any other female arrives, then he runs away.
Yeah, I'm off.
Yeah.
Ta-da. Too many women.
Yeah. And then Judy and Meg, they come on and they chuck Angela in the water.
Yeah.
Now, whilst they're dragging her into the lake because they're pissed off of her, Mel thinks that Ricky is the killer.
Yeah.
And he accosts Ricky.
Yeah, basically assaults. He's so busy assaulting Ricky, he doesn't even notice the attempted drowning.
No.
Just next to him.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's like grabbing
It's
Ricky.
in the same shot.
Yeah, it's literally going on in the background. It's like something out of fucking Naked Gun. There's this thing going on in the background. He's assaulting this child that he, for some reason, thinks is a killer, whilst another one is being drowned right behind him that he hasn't noticed.
I don't know where his assumption that it's Ricky has come from as well. 'Cause
No.
There's nothing to suggest that it would be him.
No, not at all. And then, Angela is saved. Ricky gets away from Mel and he saves Angela.
Yeah.
And the counsellor from earlier that was moaning about having to clean up the lake, he comes along and he calls Judy and Meg a couple of peckerheads.
Yeah.
It's like, this is one of the rare instances in films where there's like an issue of bullying, and usually nobody even acknowledges that it happens.
Yeah.
In this film, there are other characters to be like, you're kind of a piece of shit for doing
Yeah.
that.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It actually happens a number of times in this film.
Well, yeah, usually, because of course, in the case of, like, say, the Friday 13th, or that this is based on, there's all of the counsellors are in on the bullying. There's no, like, respite, there's one
Yeah.
that isn't. But yeah, this is various different people are like, it's only a handful of people that are dicks, and the other people are like fucking normal humans.
Yeah, it's rare.
Yeah.
But Ricky has saved her, and then Ricky says, they won't get away with this.
Yeah. We'll get them all back.
We'll get them. By God, we'll get them.
That's what Mel's talking about.
Maybe he's got that look in his eye. I know what he's saying now. Maybe he is the killer. That night, the counsellors are having a little meeting, and Ronnie is dishing out their duties.
Also, a group of people don't sit like that. Like,
one's on
like,
a bike.
they're on these steps. Yeah, one's sat on a bike. The others, they've all got like their arms around each other. It's like a posed photo and stuff. And it's not. It doesn't work for. There's what's his name? Muscles is trying to talk to
Ronnie.
everyone. Nobody's really looking at him because they're all facing away
They're
from
all
him towards the
posing.
camera. Like, what did you say? Where am I? Sorry, hang on. Can I just? What do you mean?
Yeah. One of them, Eddie, he has to take the small kids camping that night on a camping trip.
Yeah.
Meg has the night off.
Yes.
And Meg, she wants to spend her night off having a date with Mel.
With Mel.
What? Mel? Mel.
Yeah.
Mel's like 60 at least.
It makes no sense.
No.
At all.
But she's proper into him.
Yeah. I mean, she's like, yeah, remember when you promised me dinner? And even Mel's like, fucking, what?
Yeah, sure. All right.
If you want.
Oh, maybe I am a fucking nonce.
Yeah, again, how old is she? Was supposed to be 16?
Yeah, but she's like really into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on, she mentions, because she goes to take a shower, doesn't she? And she mentions to the other campers, like, I got a date tonight. It's like, with who?
It's a secret.
Oh, it's a secret. She's like, she's really excited about it. Like, you're going on a date with a 60-year-old man.
Yeah. He's not George Clooney, is he? Let's be honest. And he's wearing a wig. There's definitely a wig. This is at this point in the film is the first point I noticed it, but there is a very obvious colour difference in his real hair and the hair sat on the top of his head. But yeah, he's not a catch.
No.
In any way, shape or form.
No.
Maybe it's the money he makes from the
All
summer camp.
that money from all those 25 children that have paid. This is my income for
Took
the...
out life insurance on the other 75. That's what he doesn't talk about. Well, the 75 children.
There's orphans I picked up. So Meg takes a shower. but she is stabbed in the back.
Yes,
Murdered.
through the shower.
Through the shower curtain. With Mozart's knife again.
Yes.
Oh.
And it's like dragged down. Yeah, it's true because she leans against the back wall of. It's like a little panel or something.
Yeah.
And they stab it and they drag it all the way down her spine,
Mm.
which I'm sure isn't easy.
No.
No.
I mean, psychologically.
Rib cage there and like, well, not even psychologically, just physically. That's got to be. I mean, there's a lot going on in the back. So to drag it all
Not
the way
anymore!
down-
Later, at the dance, or the social as they call it,
Yeah.
Paul is again trying to apologise to Angela.
Yeah. Give it up, Paul.
And Angela tells Paul to meet her at the waterfront after the dance.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, all right. Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Good night.
Golly.
Hot dog. Over at the campsite
Yeah.
where Eddie's taken the younglings
Yes.
to go camping for the night. Two of them are not happy at all because
Yeah.
it's cold, and they're moaning,
They
and
are
they want to go
whining.
back. So Eddie takes them back, leaving.
He makes a very he makes a choice to leave the other kids there, like 3 boys that
Yes.
aren't any older than 12.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4, 5. There's
And
a
he just
there's a
looks
group
down
of them,
and he's
yeah.
like, "Ah, they'll be all right."
Yeah. So
And they're far enough away that he has to drive the other kids back.
yes,
So he's just going to leave them in the middle of the woods
yes.
because they're asleep.
And as he's left, the killer arrives.
Yeah.
Again,
POV.
POV, first person shot. And it's walking around, it sees the kids he's left there, and they see an axe on the floor.
Yep.
And that's the end of that scene. Then, Mel arrives at the dance in his finest date night clothes.
Well, Mel is now walking around the entire camp, basically telling everyone that he's supposed to be banging Meg.
Yeah.
Because he's like, has anyone seen Meg? She was supposed to meet me for, sex.
Yeah.
Like an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I've been warming myself up.
Yeah.
And nothing's happened. Like she's not, there's no way she'd blow me out. Look at me.
I'm wearing yellow.
Yeah. And everyone's
And
like,
I'm rich enough to smoke cigars. We're supposed to have dinner, and I've not made dinner. I've got something she can nosh on.
it's like Netflix and chill, but Netflix hasn't been invented yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then everyone's like, no, Mel, do you think you should be telling us this? And he's like, I'll go and look somewhere else.
It's one of those things, like, no one believes him either. It's like, oh, we're supposed to be having a date. And everyone's like, yeah, sure you are.
All right, Mel.
Yeah, that's why she's missing, is it? Over in her cabin, Judy is making out with some guy.
Yeah.
This is Mike.
Mike, Blondie.
Yeah. And Mel walks in, looking for Meg.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, have I told you guys I've got a date tonight? Hey, what are you doing? Mike hides
Mike
quickly.
hides under the bed.
Yeah, Mike hides under the bed. And Mel's just like, so, Judy, I've got a date tonight. Did I
Yeah.
tell you this?
Did Meg mention that me and her were,
Yeah. We're totally going to bang. Do
Yeah.
you know about banging yet? If you don't, I'll give you all the details tomorrow.
Once I'm done with Meg, you come up.
Yes, because you have boobs.
Yeah.
You've definitely got boobs. It's all anyone's fucking talked about this film is the fact that Judy's now got boobs. He leaves.
Yeah.
And as he leaves, Mike, he then leaves,
Yes.
which pisses Judy off.
She's not happy at all.
No.
Because he's like, oh, I don't want to get caught again. She's like, oh, you pussy.
Yeah. Then Mel finds Meg's body.
Well, dead Meg
Dead
somehow
Meg.
manages to launch herself out of the shower. The last time we saw her, wasn't she slumped down
Yeah.
as well? So she
She's-
stood up at some point
She stood up
and thrown herself at Mel
with
again.
with no spine.
Yeah. Second time she's thrown herself at Mel, and this time she's dead.
Yep.
But it's
And-
so weird.
Mel is pissed off.
Yeah.
And now he's convinced more than ever that Ricky
That
is the
it's
killer.
Ricky.
Yeah, because all the evidence is right there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, how nobody else has seen
Yeah.
it. I have no
Case
idea, including
closed.
any of us watching.
I mean, yeah, it's a slam dunk. It's obviously Ricky. There's
Yeah.
literally, if you're so convinced and you've got all the evidence, why don't you call the police?
Yeah. That would make way more sense because he knows in his mind it's not Ricky.
Yeah.
It can't possibly be.
He's just got to take it out on someone because he's not getting any puss tonight.
Yeah.
He's angry.
I mean, the worst Ricky has done is get annoyed with people that have bullied his cousin.
Yeah. And attacked him for wearing a hat.
Yes.
A damn fine hat.
Perfectly reasonable Stetson.
Anyway, back in Judy's cabin,
Mm-hmm.
we see the killer for the first time, kinda.
It's a silhouette.
It's
It does look like Ricky.
It's backlit.
Yeah.
And it's stood in the doorway as the killer, lit from the back, so it's kind of a silhouette. You can sort of see. It literally looks like a combination of Angela and Ricky. It's actually quite terrifying. If
Yeah.
you saw that in your doorway, you'd shit yourself.
It's a good shot.
It really
a
is.
good shot. And Judy's there with her curling tongs,
Yes.
curling irons for America.
And the killer walks in. That's the only shot we see of them. The killer walks in, slaps Judy, knocking her out pretty
punches
much.
her. Punches her in the
yeah.
face. Yeah.
And then smothers her with a pillow.
Yep.
Takes her curling irons and inserts them into Judy's body, but we don't quite see where, but you can guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty violent.
I mean, yeah, it's obvious.
Yeah. Poor Judy.
Yeah, I know. She's a fucking dick.
But
that's-
Jesus Christ. That's
No one deserves that.
No, that is pretty fucking horrific.
Mm.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and then her body is unceremoniously dumped on the floor, and
under
the
the bed.
bed slid
Shoved
over
under
the
the
top of
bed.
it. Yeah. Later on, it was cut from the film, but there was a scene where they find Judy's body, but it was cut because it was just too graphic.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, so they were.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh dear. The biggest bitch gets. That's how it goes. If the bigger the dick you are, the worse your death
I'm
is in a
amazed
horror
they
film.
even filmed that. Like, think that in the 1983, you think that'll get past the censors. Like, no worries at all.
But yeah. If you're a dick, the bigger the dick you are, the worse your death is.
Yeah.
In a horror film, those are the rules, or that should be.
Yeah.
That's. Meanwhile, Eddie returns to the campsite. He's dropped those whining shits off.
Yep.
He's gone to get back to the campsite.
Back to the kids that he abandoned.
Yep, and he's found that all the little kids he left have been fucking butchered.
Hacked to death.
Yes. Not sure what they did wrong.
Nothing at all. Like, literally.
They're
Yeah.
literally like the younglings. Like, what the fuck?
Up until this point, the rules have been if you're mean to
Yeah.
Angela, basically, then you will end up fucking dead. These kids just went camping.
Although, when they drag... when she's thrown in the lake,
Yeah.
and Ricky saves her, as he's walking Angela back, they're just to the right, there's a couple of kids who are throwing sand at her.
Oh.
There's
I
a
did not
few like
notice
little
that.
young kids throwing sand at her, and Ricky's like, fuck off, as they walk past. So maybe that's them.
Well, good.
Well,
Good that they're dead.
yeah.
They completely deserve that.
Yeah, so the younglings have been killed.
Mm.
Butchered, hacked up. Anyway. Now Ricky arrives at the dance, even though it's ending.
Yeah.
He
But
hasn't
he's
got...
been lying down, apparently.
Yeah, apparently he's been lying down all evening. He wants some food because he's hungry. He's
Yeah.
worked up an appetite lying down, apparently. And yeah, the dance is ending, but they let him anyway just to grab some food. Meanwhile, Ronnie gets a phone call with some bad news.
Mm.
It's not really established what, but we assume it's Eddie on the other end of the phone. For some reason, Eddie has a phone out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's mobile. That's,
Not invented
yeah.
yet.
Well, it's 1983, so his mobile was like this big.
Yeah.
He had to
Hello!
wind it up. Yeah.
Dom Jolly.
I'm in the woods.
All the kids are dead. Yeah, somehow Eddie calls Ronnie to inform him that all the little younglings are dead. So he gets the bad news. He calls all the counsellors to a meeting, and so they get them all in a meeting. Meanwhile, Mel grabs Ricky
Yep.
as he's walking out of the dance with his candy bar or whatever, and he starts beating him, possibly to death.
He's like proper, like, gorillaing him
Yeah,
to death.
like he's beating the living shit out of this child.
Yeah.
And he leaves him for dead. He's dead, basically.
Yeah.
And Mel walks off like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And then he turns around. Oh, we don't see it, but off camera is the real killer.
Yeah.
And he's like, shit.
Well, he starts getting, like, you do see a bit, you see their hand, because he stood in front of the archery boards.
Yeah.
And you see, like, the killer's hand with an arrow in it.
Hmm.
Now, Mel has plenty of time to get away. Instead, he stands there. Now, bear in mind, we've seen the arrow. It's not even in the bow.
Yeah,
So,
at
he
this
stands
stage,
there
yeah.
and goes, it can't be you. It can't. It can't be, for like 9 hours. Like, and so enough time for the killer to put the arrow in the bow, to draw it and fire it through his neck.
Yep.
Yeah, plenty of time to escape.
Yep. And Mel is dead.
Yes.
The police. Ronnie at this point is called the police. The police arrive.
But the policeman,
The policeman
who has been called. There's been many murders already, and he's been called to a multiple homicide this time. There's 3 boys have been hacked to death.
Yeah.
And they're still like, Trevor!
Yeah.
Oh, go again.
Off you pop.
Yeah. Sure. Well, you've been. You know what the score is up there. We can't just turn up with... We don't know anything.
Yeah, this one police officer arrives to investigate 6 deaths now?
Yeah.
Something like that. 7? No, God, many deaths.
Plus the other 75 we don't know about.
Yes. So they're trying to organise stuff to find make sure we've got all the kids in the right place. Judy and Angela are missing, as is Paul and Ricky.
Yes.
They are the ones unaccounted for. We know Judy is dead, though. So they all go looking for them. Paul is by the lake where he agreed to meet Angela.
Yes.
And she shows up looking like shit.
Yeah.
Her hair is like dragged through a bush backwards kind of look. And she wants to go skinny dipping.
Yeah. She demands that Paul
Yes, take off your
disrobe.
clothes. Yes, take off your clothes and go skinny dipping. Meanwhile, the one policeman, he finds Ricky, who is alive.
Yeah.
Just about. And then when they do, eventually the rest of them find Meg's body. And he walks out. And this is where you see, for some reason, do you remember? He had a real mustache earlier.
Yep.
He now does not have a real mustache. He has like 2 bits of electrical tape stuck under his nose. It looks so ridiculous. It's just, it looks so bad, and it's just so funny because earlier in the film he had a real mustache.
He clearly thought he was done and shaved it off. And they're like, we've got one more scene for you.
Do you like, that's not the end of your role. What do you mean? He goes, well, other people are gonna die. Like, oh, okay.
Surely one of the other police. There is no other police. It's just you. Just come here.
They just stick. It looks so bad.
Also, at this point as well, just before they heard somebody scream, and a bunch of them run up like Scooby Doo or something. One of them looks. I don't know if he trips or he looks like he's gonna like shoulder bar to the door in, but he just hits the fucking wall and bounces off it, and then the door opens and this girl comes out. It's Meg. Like,
I just see that.
really odd.
Meanwhile, Ronnie and Susie are heading down to the lake, and as they head down there, they hear some creepy singing.
Yes.
And they see Angela sat naked, with her back to them,
Stroking Paul's head.
Yes, Paul's sort of lying down with his head in Angela's lap.
Yeah.
And she's stroking his hair whilst humming this tune. Cue a flashback.
Yes.
Now,
back to my favourite character.
kind of, at this point, if you haven't seen this film, maybe pause this and go watch it.
Yeah.
Because this ending is fucking gold.
It's genius.
And I really...
Absolute fucking genius.
Like, if you haven't seen it... Well, obviously, when we do this, we always spoil the films, because most of the films we talk about are decades old. But if you haven't seen this, go watch it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll... if it's on YouTube, all of this film is on YouTube, so we'll put a link in the description. Just go watch, like, last 20 minutes. Do that now.
I mean, watch the whole film.
Oh, yeah, the whole film's great.
The whole film's amazing.
But, yeah, if you don't want to know what happens at the end, go watch the last 20 minutes now. Right. Okay. So, yeah, there she's on the beach. Cue a flashback. We're back with Aunt Martha.
Yeah.
God bless this woman.
Yes.
Aunt Martha, it is revealed, basically, that after the incident with the boat and the 2 children, the child that survived was not the girl.
Yeah.
The surviving child was the boy,
Peter.
Paul. Is it Peter?
It's Peter.
I thought it was Peter. Yeah, Peter. Paul's the other one.
Yeah.
Peter was the surviving child, the boy, and he was sent to live with Aunt Martha. Aunt Martha always wanted a girl.
Yeah.
So I always wanted a girl. I've already got a little boy, Ricky. You can be Angela. That's a great name. This kid, this little boy, he's still got his head fucking bandaged up from this motorboat accident. It's just there like, okay. So it's revealed that Aunt Martha basically dressed Peter as a girl and raised him as a
girl.
her.
Yeah.
Called Angela.
But yeah, basically raised him as his dead sister.
Yeah.
Which is traumatic.
Yes, because she wanted a girl, and they already had Ricky, a boy. Can't have 2 boys. So, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, back to present fucking day. Angela jumps up and reveal that not only is Paul's head not attached to his body,
Yeah.
Angela does in fact have a cock.
Yes.
And she stands there. Paul is dead on the floor.
She's got this iconic look on her face with this massive mouth, like just a mouth wide open.
With this like noise, brandishing an axe.
Yeah.
She stood there, penis out, and Ronnie and Susie are like, "What the fuck?
Yeah. She's a boy.
Chick's got a dick."
Yeah. And they don't like hide it either. I mean, it's a full slow
it's
pan
a full
backwards
yeah
and stuff. And
full body.
There is the dick.
Yeah, full nude shot.
Yeah.
Of Angela with a cock. The end.
Yeah.
Film just ends. That's it.
Yeah. Literally, the last line is, "She's a boy."
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. So weird.
What an ending! Honestly, that's like the best ending of a horror film since Psycho.
It's the one of the best reveals easily.
Oh yeah. It's so creepy. Those last few shots on the beach.
But the look on her face is fucking mental.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It is fucking terrifying. That's what did you think?
I fucking love this film.
Have you seen it before?
No, I've never seen it before. This is the first. I mean, it's wildly problematic, but I kind of love it for that. There's so many things in there. You're like, oh God, no. But it works. And it kind of comes out at the end. Everybody that should die does die. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Apart from Auntie fucking whatever her name is.
Auntie Martha
should die.
I've seen this film many times. It's probably my favourite 80s slasher.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Fucking love it. It's bonkers.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
The dialogue is brilliant. Some of the insults that come out of these people.
Yeah.
The characters are brilliant. Judy, love her.
Yeah.
She is, like I said, cinema's greatest bitch. And the great thing is about it, some of these characters are really likable. And like you said, it's like all the people that should die.
Yeah.
And all the people that shouldn't don't. Like Ronnie isn't killed.
Yeah.
Because Ronnie's really likable. At no point do you want Ricky to die. Ricky doesn't die. All of the really likable ones, I didn't even actually want Judy to die, but by the laws of by law she had to go. But yeah, it's got great characters. The ending is fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like, no one saw that coming.
No. I mean, at the time they must not. I mean, I did know the twist. Because, I mean, it's quite famous now.
Yeah, it's pretty iconic, yeah. This is like a huge cult classic now.
Yeah, and but yeah, I did not realise how graphic that scene would be.
Yeah.
When they came out. I thought it'd just be like, she's a boy, and you're supposed to, like, accept that. And they're like, no, we're going to show you as well.
Yeah.
It's a boy. But yeah, it was...
and it is... Yeah, it's pretty, like, silly. But there are some creepy moments in it. Like the silhouette, when you see the killer in the silhouette backlit thing, it is creepy. That's actually the boy played Ricky in a wig. And the whole thing is it's supposed to be like a red herring. Yeah. Because when you see it, like, is that Ricky?
It does, well, that's what I thought. Like,
yeah.
It does look like Ricky. But obviously, I knew what was coming. So
yeah. And all those, say, that whole, the flashback kind of ruins it. But the ending, all those scenes on the beach with, like, the singing and then like the weird gargling noise she's making as her face is like frozen and shit. Ugh.
Yeah, it's proper disturbing. The effects in this are really good as well for the most part. Literally the most disappointing effects in it are when Ricky gets beaten up and they find him and it's just like a bit of fucking ketchup or something on his face. So it doesn't really look that bad. And they're like, he's alive. He looks all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Tis but a flesh wound.
But the boiling water one, and when they find the kid with the shit snakes coming out of him and stuff, it's good.
Yeah.
Very well done, especially for that. Especially, it's probably better done than anything Friday the 13th did, effects wise.
Honestly, this film shits all over Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
Heavily borrowed.
Oh yeah, I
but
mean,
yeah,
it's obviously
definitely a better film.
Oh, it's way
without
better
a doubt
than any Friday the 13th. They've looked at it and it's obviously, well, we can do that. A slasher film at a summer camp, sure, why not? But it's just done way better. It's got characters that are likable.
Yeah.
It's got characters you hate, and they're the ones that die.
Yeah.
The kills are quite inventive. The effects are pretty fucking good. The ending's fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, within the first 10 minutes of this film, I was like, I'm going to enjoy this. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I
and
haven't
you've got
seen this
Aunt
until now.
Martha,
Yeah.
who's
yeah.
just incredibly watchable. You just want more of her. We need a spin-off of just Aunt Martha.
Martha and how many other children she's adopted
And just
ruined.
like, yeah. Oh, Christ. Right. Some trivia for the film. The budget of this, $350,000.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, wow.
It grossed 11 million.
11 million.
Yeah. When you think about the budget, it's actually really well made.
Yeah. I mean,
That's like no money.
it definitely looks like it was made for more. I mean, like, fucking... I'm surprised. I mean, if it made that much profit, though, that it didn't... I mean, I've heard that... I've never seen the sequels,
I've seen 2 and 3.
but I've heard they're awful.
2's quite funny.
Is it?
Not supposed to be funny, but it's quite funny. 3 is not very good. 4 apparently is absolutely terrible. And then there is a 5th one, Return Sleepaway Camp.
Isn't that like a spoof?
I don't know. I know that most of the original cast came back, though.
Yeah.
For the
I'm pretty sure it's... I was
Return.
reading about it last
And it's
night.
the same
I'm pretty sure it's
director
a
as
spoof,
well.
Yeah.
But yeah, 350k. Wow, it's impressive. Felicia Rose was 13 when they were making this film, and she was too young to see it when it was released, obviously. She was paid $5,000.
Fucking hell. 13.
Director Robert Hiltzik actually went to the summer camp used for filming as a child. The film is dedicated to Robert Hiltzik's mother, the director. She died before production ever began, and a bulk of the film's budget was made up of an inheritance he got from her death.
So he paid for it himself.
But
Pretty much.
Big chunk of it, yeah. That's it. The young Peter that we see is played by someone called Maximo Gianfranco Sorrentino, who is the elder brother of Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore. The ending, right. That shot at the end, the nude. It was accomplished by... It was a bloke.
Yeah.
It was a college student they got, who went uncredited for years. Stood there nude, wearing a mask cast from Felicia Rose's face.
Right.
So it's a naked, skinny guy wearing a Felicia Rose mask. That's why the face doesn't
Again,
move.
that looks really good
Yeah.
for that sort of...
Yeah. He was very nervous and got very drunk before shooting.
Right.
So all you've got to do is stand here naked. Give me a beer.
Yeah. With your dick out.
Yeah. What? Give me 2 beers. 3 beers. And it's autumn. 4 beers. Yeah, it's quite impressive. Like
What, the dick?
it's not like, all right, son. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. But no, it's quite impressive. The mask obviously doesn't move.
Yeah.
The face is totally
Which
static.
is why, obviously, she's established like that.
But it kind of works.
Yeah, it does.
It's really creepy. And the noise, like it does work. It works. Jonathan Tiersten, who played Ricky, he was a stand-in for shots of the killer's hands.
Right.
And also, as I mentioned earlier, the backlit shot with the killer stood in the doorway to give the idea that it's a bit of a red herring. Hearing?
Red herring.
A red. What's that you say there? Bit of a red herring. Christopher Collette, aka Paul. Oh, this one's weird. This is the last one, right? Christopher Collette, who played Paul.
Yeah.
He had a latex version of his head made for the end scene where his head's been cut off. It was stolen,
Right.
and no one knows who by after filming.
So somebody on the set stole it.
Yeah,
Weird.
someone
Why
has
would you want that?
a fake.
I mean,
head.
I'd want it if it was mine.
Yeah, but he didn't take it.
Yeah. Why would anybody?
Someone else took a decapitated
Yeah.
head of a 12-year-old and
Ugh, fucking chef.
possibly. You got a real pretty mouth there, boy. What's that you say? Why, yes, I do. Jesus. Comments.
I got a couple on Facebook and a couple on Insta.
Go.
Right. Joey Draper. who has an excellent band called South of Salem that you should check out. Says, obviously Friday the 13th inspired, but it's an awesome film with the best twist ending in horror, in my opinion. I think Felissa Rose did an incredible job acting in this film, especially at such a young age.
Yeah, agreed.
Ad Solomon, you'll be devastated to learn it's actually a film about Del Winton, Julian Clary, and that bloke of Are You Being Served having a sleepover. It isn't. Miss Dead Pony, Hannah. You'll love it. So much fun. The epitome of ridiculous 80s slashers. Probably the biggest laugh I've had out of any horror movie twist.
Yes.
Correct.
That's on Instagram. I had them on TikTok, but I forgot. My Little House of Hell Network. A solid slasher with a fucked up ending. Yes. Stark2490. I can never find this film to watch. Not on DVD, not on streaming. It's annoying. I sent him the link.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I literally replied to it with the link. It's like, it's here. And they're like, oh, thanks. So, you're welcome. And Shira Balboa, overrated. No.
Wrong.
No, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but yours is wrong. No, it's brilliant.
Yours is garbage.
Yours is a Friday the 13th kind of opinion. Full of shit.
Lost a subscriber.
Maybe. Yeah, that was Sleepaway Camp. It's awesome.
Yes.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's
Definitely.
It's on YouTube, like all of it in HD. Go watch it. Thank you very much. That's it for this week. We shall be back soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
Well, thank you all for coming here tonight and drinking all of my booze.